Thank you for coming to watch our program on Kings of the Nile. Please don't forget to subscribe. And we have a very exciting program for you lined up today. A young man that I knew for a long time. Thank you for coming to watch our program on Kings of the Nile. Please don't forget to subscribe. And we have a very exciting program for you lined up today. A young man that I knew for a long time, playing NBA, former NBA player. And he will tell us a little bit about himself. My knowledge of him and introduction to him was a long time ago, namely about 1993 now, 27 years ago. And it's just been that long that I have known Reginald Slater. Reggie is a very successful businessman, and I'll invite him to say hello and come and join us in the meeting. Welcome, Reginald Slater.
Mel, Ustaz Jamal, thank you for inviting me to the Kings of the Nile program. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for also taking the time out of your busy schedule to visit us and make some time to really share your experience and tell us a little bit about, your childhood and what you have to go through in life and how you were able to overcome some of the challenges and where you got to where you got. Because, we're seeing a lot of young people, particularly our young people, Black kids, Ethiopians, African Americans, gravitating to things that they shouldn't be and so forth. And as you know, this is a very careful society. If we make a mistake, the price we pay is too high. Some of us, it can take us lifetime to fix what we have done as young people. So I wanted to just give you an opportunity to say who you are and how it all came about and how you became so, what are you doing at this time?
Okay, well, I'll try to make it brief. Again, thank you again for inviting me on this program. My name is Reggie Slater. I was born in Houston, Texas, a single parent household. A lot of times, Mel, I think they make documentaries on the scenario that I was raised up in. Didn't necessarily have a father. I had a mother that was very loving and poured a lot of belief into me. And sometimes I think as adults, we need to believe in our children before they can believe in themselves. Because if we don't tell them what to believe in, then they're going to gravitate to some type of negative learning. So it's very important, I think, that my mother did that for me. I was able to play basketball and obtain a collegiate scholarship. Played 4 years at the University of Wyoming. Post-college, I played 10 years professional basketball from everywhere from Spain, Turkey, Italy, and also 6 years in the NBA. So I was able to see the world, not just America. Post-playing days, I had to support my family. I had the great advantage while I was playing to talk to some of the people that owned the team. So it was a great resource for me to walk up to team owners and ask them, how'd you purchase this team? Well, I had to put X amount of $1 million down. How'd you get X amount of $1 million? Well, I own a business. How did you start a business? Well, I had to do write a pro forma and go to the bank and tell them what I believed in. How do you do that? It went on and on and on. So I really got to do a very one-on-one exercise on how to talk and how to grow a business while I was in the NBA by a bunch of multimillionaires. So when I finished playing, I got into the automotive business and I purchased one store and one store led to two, and two to three. And now I have 8 locations around the greater Houston area.
And I know you also had a big stadium, kind of a gym that was really 80,000 over square. Can you tell us a little bit about that before you sold it? How did you come about doing that? And it was a huge basketball and volleyball, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about that and how you were able to help a lot of young people to come in and play?
Right, absolutely. I think one of the things that I love about athletics is the focus, the determination, the goal setting, all those positive attributes that it goes hand in hand in order to help you obtain your goals later on in life, whether that's education, whether that's goals in your job or what have you. In Texas, as in many other states, as in the United States, they were cutting funding to a lot of the vocational programs, a lot of the sports programs. So I got the bright idea of building a gym. That way I can have a positive impact on the community and provide a service for kids and an outlet for them to creatively express themselves and, again, attain some of those properties that I was able to go through. Again, the goal setting, working with teams, different individuals, so on and so forth. So, just like anything else, it started off small, but it grew. It grew. It started off from a small one court basketball to 4 courts to 8 volleyball courts to, okay, well, I need 2 rental places on the side to support it. And by the time this thing was all over with, it was 70,000+ square feet. It serviced a lot of people. I hope it helped a lot of kids grow and meet each other socially. And, because your brain is like a muscle, you can study all the academics you want, but at some point you need to relax, right? It's just like lifting weights. So again, I think that the gym provided a great outlet for these kids.
Well, you're not only an example of a great athlete, but you're also really a family man and a good person who has been able to raise beautiful children. Of course, you've been a blessing to me because I met you in '93 when you were playing for Spain, if you remember. That's 27 years ago. And you've given me good businesses. And so we were able to do a lot of work for you over the years. And you have referred me to a lot of NBA players. Never dreamt I'll meet anybody from NBA if it wasn't for you. And really, I mean, I appreciate all the help that you've given me, even as myself. And I hope I was a blessing to you too when we went to try and look for some businesses and so forth. What do you say to a young person who is confused, who is discouraged, and now they're saying, oh, there's no opportunity. It's only not for me. It's only for rich people, so white people, whatever. There are so many things that young people face. How do we help those young people that are really discouraged or not having good information to rebuild their life from wherever they are?
Well, I would always tell young people to seek out a mentor. Figure out something that you want to do. And I don't want to say the drug dealer up the street or the guy that's stealing something up the street. And there's somebody, if you have a dream, whether that's to be an engineer, a rabbi, an architect, a banker, somebody that you know or you can read up on to find out who you can talk to so you can get an example firsthand of what to do and stand on the shoulders of giants. I think it's very important that we give back to our kids. That usually goes at the end of what I'm saying. But I think for any kid, if they would take a moment and ask themselves, would they follow them? In other words, if they could talk to their younger selves, are they setting a good example for themselves? I'm very cognizant, Mel, that when I do things and when I say things, and especially my actions, my children see it and they will emulate it. Not only them, but all the kids that I've coached through the years. So I'm very careful about the words that I speak. I speak life. I speak prosperity. I never speak anything negative. Why? Because, whatever you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. So yes, there are avenues and challenges in our lives. We all have those challenges, but you can focus on one thing or you can focus on the other thing. What you want to focus on is something that's going to move you forward in your life. Most of these kids, like me, even if you only have one parent, that parent wants you to do something. That parent wants you to be someone in your life. Do not let that parent down. They invested in you. They invested their time in you, their love. Most kids, if they're fortunate enough to have their children take them to events and, spend money on clothes and whatnot. Parents, in a sense, they want an ROI in business. I know you know what that is. That's a return on your investment, right? So kids, it's time to pay back. It is time to pay back, baby. And there's interest, compound interest on that. Yes. So, you don't want to let your parents down, your grandparents down, your little brother, your big brother, your cousin. There are eyes on you at all times. you know. And I think about, you know, when you and I talk about Ethiopia all the time, and for me as an African American here in America, there was a poet named James Baldwin that once said, you know, to be African American is to be absent from Africa because we don't know our history that well, and at times in America we don't have rights. But when I think about Ethiopia, that was one of the kingdoms, one of the first kingdoms that did so many great things. There's so much great history out there. Man, what a proud people. What a great history. You know, when you think of the people that came there before you, there's no way in the world I would want to let those people down. And I would certainly, if I was Ethiopian, want to tell my kids and remind them of who they were, what they are, what they can be. You know what I mean? Because it's already been done before. It's not like you're creating something that's never been done. You guys are descended from kings.
Yes.
That's royalty.
Yes.
You guys demand and command respect. So, you know, I would constantly keep that in my thought if I was talking to kids in that culture.
Thank you very much. You've been you've been a friend to Prince Ermias. You were invited at NASA to speak. And how was that experience of you? And what did you think of Prince Ermias? And he was really fascinated about you. He was talking about you for a couple more days after we left. So he loves you. Yeah.
It was quite an honor. You know, one of the first times I've ever been around royalty. The man carried himself very well. It was an honor to be around royalty. I actually showed my daughter pictures of that event maybe about a month ago. And my daughter was like, yo, you know royalty? You couldn't get me married off or something? That's what my daughter told me the other day. But it was such an honor to be around him in his presence, how he carried himself, the history and the crown that he wears, not just the physical crown, but the cross that he bears as being responsible for the entire country and whatnot. You know, it was an awesome experience.
Thank you. One other thing I really wanted to ask you is, you know, we trying to heal a lot of our young people, African American kids or Ethiopian kids who are born here and so forth. They're going to go in the same direction as most African Americans do. And what do we do to encourage these children, these young people, to go into Africa and also change some of the things in Africa so that it can become a livable place, it can become a lawful place and transparent place, so that you guys, as African Americans, business people, will be able to invest and basically really will give a great opportunity for America to have a great presence, and in a way also helps America to evict the Chinese out of Africa. They're not really the kind of people you want to do business with, because I just came back from Africa. I told you they do a lot of crazy stuff. And how do we get our people to get excited and take ownership of Africa as African Americans and make it better for everybody?
I think one of the things is we have to come to a realization of what Africa is. People in America are so silly sometimes. I laugh because they think Africa is a country. They don't understand that Africa is a continent that is bigger than America, Central America, South America, with so many rich resources, whether you're talking about gold, oil, and plenty of other natural resources. I think once you know, people get more educated about Africa, and that I've heard of people investing in Africa and reaping great rewards because there's, you know, great possibilities. But I think the word has to get out there more.
Okay, thank you. And we should really, I mean, don't you think that we should consider to probably take people like you and take some media and be able to give us more exposure?
The way you get the word out there is get people out there to see. I had a friend of mine, I don't know how far Ethiopia is from Rwanda. They would tell me how beautiful it is in Rwanda, in certain parts.
It's about 2.5 hour flight. I mean, it's not very far.
They would tell me it was beautiful out there. And you know, the mountains of Ethiopia. I mean, there's a lot of beauty because Africa is such a big continent. There's a lot of beauty, a lot of history. You know, I talk about, as you said earlier, when you met me in '93, I was in Girona and Huesca, Spain. And one of the things my wife and I talk about is, the history there, because there's nothing like that in America. It's awing to us because there's nothing like that in America. Well, could you imagine what we'd see if we went to the cradle of humanity, Africa? I mean, come on, man. I think once you get people to come back and they see that and they have voices and they can talk and communicate, that brings a steady influx of people that want to invest. And, I think it's a great example for the kids, because the kids see people that look like them and want to emulate them, And again, who doesn't want to go back to Africa, particularly if you're African American, because that's where we're from.
Beautiful. So we will probably work on that and be able to take a couple of your friends. And so we will be able to, it really gives us a great opportunity to expose the country, especially to African-American community, and just tell them that it's their home. We have incredible amount of resources, and obviously we're not being able to develop it because of the amount of work required to develop those resources is so huge. You need a lot of engineers, you need a lot of infrastructure, you need a lot of capital market, you need exposure to a lot of places, construction equipments and things like that. A lot of the places are just, Ethiopians are tenacious people now. They're building 100-story buildings with a raggedy equipments like you would not believe. When I take you to Ethiopia and you see how they built this, you cannot believe that people are doing that. It's not good for safety. A lot of people die on construction sites and stuff like that. We got to be able to take this people like you, people in the MBA, to come in and say this is a workable place. What do you think of that idea?
It goes hand in hand with what I was saying earlier about ROI. I think if people see an opportunity to invest in something that they're going to get something back in, not just because they can make money off it, but it's the right thing to do, giving back to where you come from. I think if those numbers were set down in some type of pro forma, and okay, if you invest, I'm making up numbers here, $100,000, you can expect, a 30% whatever return in so much time. I think that would pique a lot of people's interest.
Beautiful. Well, I just wanted to, not only thank you for your time, but I also wanted to share a little bit about how you were able to get such a beautiful family, a marriage for a long time with a beautiful girl. How's your family doing, and where are they all, and so forth?
Okay. I was very fortunate to get married. Probably, a little bit over me here. She brought the best out of me. But we have four beautiful kids. Most of them are adults now and are leading professional lives, and they're doing quite well. I have a daughter that works for a worldwide accounting firm called PwC. She's a senior administrator of some sort. She's doing very well there. I have my oldest boy is a lieutenant in the United States Air Force. Very smart kid. I have another son who's about to graduate from Northwestern University, one of the more highly acclaimed universities in America, with a major in communications and a minor in business. So I'm very excited for his future. I have a 16-year-old son who has his eyes set at college and looking forward to beginning the next chapter of his life. I have no doubt that he will be successful. And a lot of that stuff comes from, again, the examples as an adult, as a parent, that they see. It's not like they're starting something new in the wilderness. It's been done before. And if I can do it, I know they can do it. And a lot of it is belief. It says in the good book somewhere, faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. That means if you're an entrepreneur and if you have a vision, you have to believe it before you see it. Most people say that I got to see. I'll see that. I'll believe when I see it. No, you got to believe it first, and then you got to manifest that and make that thing come to life. But that comes with work. That's why you work for it. That's why the shirt says "work for it." You work for it. There's no substitute for intelligence and hard work.
That's just a beautiful message, and we will be sharing this interview with people in Ethiopia, so they already know who you are. When you come there, you're not going to be a stranger because they already going to know who you are. And Reggie, really, and a beautiful wife, Katie, just absolutely beautiful people. You blessed me and blessed a lot of other people that I know. Your relationship here, your families, your extended family in Colorado. I don't know if you know this, but your family gave us a dog. That was our first dog in Colorado, and her name was Bear. And I just refused to accept she died. My wife was so sick of me. She said, "We got to take it to the vet now."
I will see. I think I'm going to see Kitty in a few days, so I'll tell her that story.
But please tell her hello for me and tell her thank you very much for that beautiful chow chow. She made my kids and my daughter happy forever. Just a beautiful people, and tell her that we're thinking about her.
I will. Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you for your time. God bless you and your family. Thank you so much for inviting me and being able to share something with some wonderful people. Again, I would advise these kids, especially young kids, you're the future. You know, where do you want to be in 5 years, and what are you doing to prepare yourself to make that happen? You got to have faith. You got to visualize it. Okay. And that doesn't mean hanging around bad people. It means hanging around people, like-minded people that want something out of their life, that want their parents to be proud of them, that want their little brother to do something positive like them. So you got to get on that path.
Thank you, Reginald Slater. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And our viewers, thank you very much for taking the time to see a great basketball player and a great businessman. And please don't forget to subscribe to the Kings of the Nile. Wow. Thank you very much.
Take care, guys.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.